Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Anywhere you're joining us, you're all welcome. So we give about 2 minutes for all other participants in the waiting room to join in. You're all welcome. Please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat box. You can introduce yourself where you're joining us from, your area of specialization, your affiliation. You're welcome. Thank you all for being here. I've seen a lot of people, and I'm very glad that Mary is also here. So we'll have a very good section today. Thank you so much. Please feel free to introduce yourself, your location, your area of socialization, your research interest. Thank you so much. We have just 1 minute to accept all everyone trying to settle in. So just in about yeah, so it's about time. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the Rising Scholars non-read Rising Scholars session. It actually started last year. We had a couple of sub-scale events last year, but this year we'll be dealing with research and analysis. And this topic is part of an introduction to anyone struggling with finding resources for their research, literature review, for you to have a background knowledge of or your studies. So we're very glad that Dr. Mary is here to give us a lot from her experience. So before we continue, please, yes. So right now, just to give us a little bit of the rules, the session is recorded, like I mentioned, and then we will have the section run between now and 2 hours from now. So 1 hour, 30 minutes to 2 hours maximum, because it's an hands-on section. So we encourage us to have our laptop or our phones ready to have some practical workshop. We'll have a webinar presentation, and then we'll also have some practical hands-on and practice. So right now, for me to introduce the section and Dr. Mary. So the theme of the section today is utilizing library resources and tools for research management, which will be handled by Dr. Mary Akanit. So Dr. Mary has a PhD in information science from the University of South Africa, and she works as a librarian and a head of the library ICT services at Kayambu, Kayambugu University in Uganda. Please forgive me. I hope I pronounced that right. So she has over a decade experience in an academic and library setting, and she's committed to empowering users to navigate, evaluate, and use information effectively in academic and professional settings. So right now, everyone is on mute. If you have any challenges, please feel free to put your questions or raise your virtual hand for us to address all challenges in between the sections. So thank you so much for joining in. Over to you, Dr. Mary. We're all waiting. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you so much, Hugo. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are from different parts of the world. I'm happy to be here to share with you skills and knowledge on how to navigate library resources and tools for your research management. As I have already been introduced by Ugo, my name is Mary, and the university is Chambogo in Uganda. Chambogo University is a public university in Uganda. Ugo, can you please share the presentation so that without wasting so much time, we are going to have the
All
presentation
right.
and then later on, we will be having a hands-on. We will navigate a few of the databases to have some practical experience on how to make the most use of the different scholarly databases available to different libraries.
Yeah. Please confirm you can see the screen.
Yeah, we can see the screen, so please take us to the first slide.
Okay.
Yeah, that is my name. I work as a librarian and head library ICT services. So much of my time has been spent in a university library, and I'm happy to share with you my skills and experiences based on my interaction with researchers in university settings. So before us is a picture. Yeah, you can go to the next slide. Go to the next slide.
Okay. This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before us, there is a picture of a seemingly. Let's go to the picture.
This one.
Now, before the outline, yeah, there,
Okay.
that photo.
For the, yeah, for the outline. Yeah, this one.
Yeah. Uh, I believe most of us can relate to what the gentleman in that picture is going through. I don't know, can you put your interpretation of the picture in the chat box? And also, can you tell me what stage of research you are in so that I try to fit my presentation and my explanations within your stage of research? Because I know many of us are I mean, the session is for early career researchers, but there could be those who are already advanced. There are those who are just starting. There are those who are postgraduate students, faculty members, or librarians like myself. Can you just in the chat box tell me where you are in your research? And what you make of the picture? Okay, I see Elias is a PhD student from Australia. Welcome. There is Dr. Pamela from South Africa, University of KwaZulu-Natal. She's a researcher and a mentor. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Yeah, someone says the researcher is overwhelmingly stressed. Others are PhD students. Others are doing data analysis for their research project. Yeah, so thank you so much for your responses. Uh, as you can see, the researcher above in that picture, he is overwhelmed with so many things. He seems to be having a lot of books to read, a lot of work to do, but it seems like he does not know even where to start from. So he's about to burn out. In this presentation, I hope that if you are like one of that researcher at the end of the presentation, and when you go back to settle in on your research desk, some of the issues that you are grappling with will be demystified. So in the presentation outline, Madam Ugo, can you go to the next slide? In the presentation outline, I will briefly introduce us to what the library does to support researchers, the role of the library. Then we shall see how to use discovery and the scholarly databases, discovery tools, and scholarly databases that you can make use of. Then we shall have a hands-on practice on how to search these different databases. Then we will also briefly look at citation and reference management tools and the various library support services that are available to you from your library. We all know that research is an integral part of academic institution. I see most of us are researchers, but I believe in one way or another we are affiliated to uh, academic institutions or research institutions. So within these institutions, academic libraries or the university libraries play a very critical role in supporting researchers achieve the research mandates of their institutions. Most of the time, we look at the library as surrounded by brick, mortar, and then stacks of books. But beyond that quiet study space that you know that when you go to the library, it is sitting down and reading, the library also provides different tools and resources to support you in your academic journey. However, only a few people or only a few researchers know about the existence of the different library services and how to leverage the resources that the library provides. So in this webinar, we shall explore some of the research tools and resources available through the library and how to make the best out of them for research excellence. As I said, I work at Chambogo University in Uganda, but usually library systems operate in a similar manner. So the knowledge that I will share here, you should be able to transfer and apply it within your own research institutions. Now I have another question. Yes, Ugo? How do you usually access information to address your research needs? You can type your answers in the chat box. How do you access information to address your research needs? Where do you go to when you need information? Personal search. Do you search in the library? Do you search online? Nman uses Google Scholar. Caroline, Google Scholar. Others use library database, research platforms like ResearchGates. Yeah, so I can see that the majority of us use Google Scholar, and one has indicated that he uses Myloft. So the next slide. Within the library, there are different types of scholarly resources that are available to support researchers. The library, beyond the digital resources, first of all, as we know, in the traditional sense, provides print collection, which includes books, journals, and other reference materials. The library also provides electronic databases and electronic journals, which contain ebooks, articles, conference proceedings, and so on. Also, most libraries have institutional repositories which contain a curation of the research outputs for those specific institutions. So sometimes when you want to know which research is coming out of your institution in your department, you can check with your institutional repository and the communities within that repository to understand what is going on within your institution and pick a leaf on how to progress and probably see the research direction that is happening within your institution. Libraries also have special collections and archival materials that they curate. Some of these special collections could be rare materials that may be difficult to find elsewhere. They may look old, but you find that they are kept there, or some of those materials are difficult to find in other places. So libraries can keep those resources for your research engagements. These resources can be accessed using the website. First of all, the library website is the gateway to most of the collections or the resources that are available or the services provided within your library. So sometimes when you do not know where to start from, try to visit the website of your institution. If you read, you can see if they have a catalog, if they have any databases or any support that is available to you. So the library website is the first gateway that you can check in order to access the resources. You can check the library catalogs. The library catalog is usually a collection of the shows a collection of the materials or the research information in a university. Books. Uh, Previously, the catalogs will only show the bibliographic information of only print books, but these days most catalogs are integrated with the information on the online books that are available within their collection. So you can also check out in the library catalog if you need a print book, if it is available, and the terms of borrowing that book, or how you can access that print material, or if there are other options beyond what you need to do. So the library catalog shows you whatever is available within that specific library. Uh, we can also use discovery systems. For example, there's EBSCOhost that aggregates different academic databases into one, where you can search journals, ebooks, and repositories based depending on the subscription that is available to your institution. LibHub is also a discovery system that can help you search different academic databases in one platform. And there is another tool that is integrated with MyLoft that can be integrated to MyLoft, and it's called MyDiscovery. Libraries also make resources accessible through subject-specific databases. If you're in certain fields, you might be interested in discipline-specific resources. For example, those in electrical engineering and computer science might need to use IEEE Explore as their main database. Those in public health could use PubMed Central. Then there are databases which are multidisciplinary. They have a host of information in different disciplines. For example, Taylor and Francis and Science Direct. Then, as our researchers have, most of them have noted, we also use Google Scholar. Unlike the Google, that is just an ordinary search engine that searches everything on the internet. Google Scholar searches and brings together different scholarly resources into one place. So you can use Google Scholar to search for these resources. However, full text access to those resources will depend on availability of subscription through your institution. And then beyond the paid for resources, there are also open access resources that we can make use of. For example, there is the directory of open access journal, directory of open access books, where you can download free books. directory of open access resources where you can visit the different repositories. There are also open educational resources. These ones are mainly very helpful to faculty members when they are preparing their teaching resources for their students. For example, the MIT Open Educational Resources. Now, how do we search these different databases that are available? Navigating library databases starts with understanding how to search for relevant and credible sources. Unlike the ordinary search engines like Google, these scholarly databases provide access to scholarly materials that have undergone rigorous review processes. So it is very important that you liaise with your library staff to guide you on which scholarly databases you can make use of. Most of the databases are organized by discipline, like I had already mentioned, IEEE Explore, or by subject, and this allows researchers to focus their research on targeted fields of study. In these databases, there are also advanced search features like keyword suggestions, subject filters that can help you refine your search results and uncover credible resources aligned within your research scope. So when you're searching, you can use keywords, Boolean operators, you can search using a phrase, you can do truncations and wildcards, you can do filters and refine the search results. Next slide. Now, before you embark on searching for information, you need to know what access options are available to you. I had already mentioned the library catalogs. If it is a print book, checking that library catalog, do you have access to that? Is that print book available within your library? And if not, what are the options available within your library to acquire that book? There are also remote access tools, for example, MyLoft, that we shall look at later on. Other institutions use RemoteX, others use as a proxy to help researchers access resources outside the university campus. We also take note that most of the publishers these days choose to have resources accessed through IP address authentication. Now with IP address authentication, it requires that if you're on campus, you use the internet uh, within your university that has their IP addresses registered by the publishers. And once you are authenticated or using your campus internet, you'll be automatically uh, enabled to access the databases of your choice if they are within your institutional subscriptions. And then also, you can check within the institutional repositories what information is available from the researchers that you are collaborating within that institution or in the institution that you hope to work with. So once you are sure about uh, your the access options available to you, if it is IP address authentication, then you can go ahead and start searching. If it is by remote access, ensure that you are registered with your library for you to be able to search those databases. So without much ado, I wanted us to explore some of the databases and how we can make use of them. I'll Hugo, could you please allow me share? I'll take us to our library website, and then we can make use of our catalog for purposes of demonstration. So let me share my screen. So before us is the webpage of Chambogo University Library, and I wanted to demonstrate to us how we can use the library catalog to search for information. Just a minute, let me get back to you. Sorry for that brief interruption. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, so when you are using a library catalog, you could be using different systems. Others could be using virtual. For our institution, our catalog is powered by Koha. So in a library catalog, you can search the bibliographic data about your library collection. So you can search either by title, that is if you know the book that you wish to borrow from the library, if you know the title, or you know the author, or you can search by subject. For ISBN, if you know the ISBN of the book, you can input it in the search box, and then you'll be able to retrieve that specific information. Now, I can do a search on research methods and see what information is available in our library in the topic of research methods. Mm, My internet is acting up. Okay. Yeah, now I have the search results. Within our library, I have about 1,367 results on books on research methods. So if I can look at the first results, there is this title, A to Z of Digital Research Methods by Catherine Dawson. So it has the title, the author, and then it is also available as an ebook. So if we click here, we'll be able to access this resource because our library has also purchased it as an ebook. For libraries like Chambogo University, which has many branches, at Chambogo University, we have 5 branches on the main campus, and then 2 uh, outside the main campus. So one is at the Soroti Study Center in Eastern Uganda, and one is at the Bushenyi Study Center in Western Uganda. So all these resources available in those libraries are cataloged in one place, And when you search the catalog, it will show you where specific resources could be located. So this first resource, for example, is available for loan at Barclays Library. Barclays Library is on the main campus. Let me see. There is a third item which is available in Central Library. And then the fourth one is available in Education Library. If an item or a book is available in multiple libraries, it will be shown in the catalog. This other one is in the Faculty of Special Needs and Rehabilitation Library. It saves you the time as a researcher to know which of your library branches has that specific print book. And once you search the online catalog and you know which institution has that print book, then you can get its call number and submit it to the librarian. Or if you know how to interpret the bookshelves, you go to the bookshelf and get that specific resource, that specific printed book for your research needs. So for the start, that is how we can search the catalog to access the library resources, mainly in print form. If the resource is available electronically, then we shall be able to just click on that and we'll be able to search if it is within the subscription. Maybe at this point, I will take a question, if any, in regards to how to use the catalog to retrieve print resources in the library. If you have a question. Can we enable, Hugo, can we enable, maybe others might want to speak? You can raise your hand if you want to speak, and then yeah, they will enable you to speak. Because I want us to interact. This should not be about me alone. I want it to be beneficial to all of us. And if there's anything that you need to seek clarity along the way, please feel free to ask. So do you have any questions as far as using the catalogs is concerned? Yes, please. Yes, Hugo?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Mary. I think my question is, can you show us how to get, for example, the first book, A to Z of digital research method? If it's an online material, can you help us to access it? I think I see where it says available online. Can you help us to
Thank
click to access it? Yes, thank you.
thank you so
Yeah.
much. Uh, Let me click on that. Has my screen come through?
Yes.
Yeah, so sorry. Let me go back to the other side. Let me go back. Okay, so initially we are all seeing this A to Z of digital research methods, and we have integrated an online resource, which is an ebook. So once you click on that link, it is provided by EBSCO-host. It has taken me to the page where the book is. Now, when you are reading an ebook, we don't read ebooks cover to cover, especially textbooks, unless it's fiction. You can look at the table of contents the same way you do with a printed book. So for this book, the table of contents is displayed, and then you can choose which of the chapters you might want to read. So let me see, chapter 13, data visualization. Oh, here it says your institution does not have rights to access this item. Please try searching for similar titles. I think our IP has issues, because ideally here should show Chambogo University, but instead it's showing me something else. So I will handle that with the technical team. But ideally, if it is integrated within your catalog, if the ebook is integrated within your catalog, you should be able to read it and access it. So here it displays the book, the different book chapters, and then you could read this book online, or even download a chapter or more chapters, depending on the limits that are available per book. Remember, there are also some copyright restrictions in some of the ebooks that are subscribed to. Some of them, they may allow you to download the full book at a go. Others, in order to avoid misuse, they might only restrict you to a certain number of pages. But when you're reading online, you could be able to read online cover to cover, but then downloading, you might need to download only specific chapters that are of interest to you to read later. But otherwise, if that issue was sorted of I think the IP conflict here, we will be able to download this chapter. But I hope it does address your question, Hugo.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted all of us to see how it moves from just seeing the research, the particular book that you searched, to
Oh,
getting it
okay.
yes, outside
Yeah.
there.
So
Thank you.
yeah, so that one is available electronically. You read it electronically. The ones which are only in print copy, you should be able to walk into the library and ask for that print copy. Yeah, for like, so, but this one, even there's an ebook, but also there is a print copy in Barclays Library. But for the rest, where there is no online resource link available, it means there is no electronic copy for that particular title. Now I want to close this, and then I've demonstrated how we can use the catalogs. I wanted us to use MyLoft to access e-resources. MyLoft is in full. It means my library on fingertips. I am already signed in, so let me first sign out of my MyLoft account so that we can all be at the same page. If your library or institution subscribes to MyLoft, you simply log in and have the MyLoft plugin installed on your computer, which could be your laptop or desktop. And it even has a phone app that you can use to search. But I usually recommend my researchers to read on either laptop or desktop, because the phone screen, if you're going to be doing a lot of reading, it will cause you eye strain over a period of time. But otherwise, MyLoft can work on any digital device for you to access library services. As Chambogo University, we access most of our online resources through the consortium of Uganda University Libraries. as you can see here. So even the MyLoft tool, we access it through the consortium of Uganda University Libraries. Library consortia are very helpful to research institutions because they pull resources together and help uh, subsidize the cost of acquisition of electronic resources at institutional level. So each institution provides their small contribution, and then the bigger consortium uh, pays for these resources on behalf of their members. So I believe there are library consortia almost in every country. Maybe for those institutions that are able to pay, that have huge budgets to afford their resources by themselves, but a majority, if you are a librarian and you do not have access, you might need to think of joining the consortium, the library consortium within your country or within your state or region, so that you can make contributions and ensure that your researchers have access to a wide range of resources. So here I can put my email address to access MyLoft. I already have an account. For those who do not have an account, you simply register. Let me go back. I'm not seeing the registration thing here, but you should be able to register. Signing up, if your institution has access, you register or sign up, and then you'll be granted access to your by your institution. Remember, you have to be a registered member of a particular institution or consortium to be able to access your library resources. Even in your various countries, your various institutions, you should first register with the library. And then once you register with the library, you'll be granted access to these resources. And some institutions, it takes only single registration. Once you register as a student or a staff or a researcher with that institution, you might be able to only use one login to access all services, including your institutional email and institutional uh, library, academic library. So for our case, let me log in. For those in Uganda, you log in through the consortium of Uganda University Libraries, put your email address, mhlachanet.kyu.ac.ug, then put a password and sign in. Now, once you have access to MyLoft, once you sign into to the account on MyLoft, here on the left panel, it gives you, there's a home, e-resources. Under e-resources, there are all databases or all journals or all ebooks. And then this one, this institution customized their access. This is one of the Ugandan institutions, Uganda Matters University. They customize MyLoft to enable their researchers access even beyond the consortia subscription. So if here on the landing page, you are able to see some of the featured resources. But if you expand, let me just show the featured resources are few. There are just a few databases. But if you expand and click on all databases, there are very many databases that researchers within these institutions are able to access. Now, for our case, we have access to EBSCOhost, we have access to Taylor and Francis, we have access to Emerald, we have access to JSTOR, Research for Life, and those institutions with other medical courses and related courses could have access to osmosis. In Chambogo University, we don't offer medicine, but a library is there to support all the research needs of its institution. We have more, there are also other resources which are available to us and our researchers through AFIL. AFIL is an international organization that supports libraries. It is called Electronic Information for Libraries. So some of the resources that we have are accessible through AFIL. But beyond what we access or beyond what we subscribe to, we usually provide a list of different databases so that we do not deny our researchers the chance to access. So if, for example, you wanted to access the Greater Online, you click on it, make your search. If there are restrictions or if the content is not accessible, you notify your librarian that I was interested in the content in this. This is the list of the articles that I wanted. And us in Uganda, as members of the Consortium of Uganda University Libraries, we are able to support one another, access resources that are not available within the subscription. Because beyond the consortia subscriptions, some institutions have institutional subscriptions, so they have more money and may be able to afford extra databases. Uh, then also, we have some understandings with other publishers that we can make a request on behalf of our users, or there could be a fee set aside to help purchase some of the resources that are closed access that require subscription. So we do not restrict usage to the few databases that we subscribe to, but our researchers are free to search any of these databases. And then when they are not able to find what they have, they notify their librarians or their library, and the library will advise. And I know this practice is not only in Uganda, but that is a service that is available to most of the researchers through their institutional libraries across the world. So let me make a demonstration, and I think as I use this database, we shall also explore the different search strategies concurrently. I'm going to search Taylor and Francis. And before you start your search, earlier on I had mentioned that ensure that you have access. Do you have access through your university, through your consortium? What is the format that you are using? Here, if you see up here where there is this yellow logo for the Consortium of Uganda University Libraries, it shows that access is provided by the Consortium of Uganda University Libraries. Have been already authenticated because I'm registered through MyLoft. So I landed on this page via MyLoft. That's why I already see that I am granted access. In most of these databases, if you go to the website and it says welcome guest, it means you do not have access to full text through any institution. It might require you to pay or maybe use a username or password, which these days is not common practice. So now that I see that I have access provided by the consortium, if I was not using MyLoft, I would be having direct access, and it will say access provided by Chambogo University. If you are in Queensland University, it could show that access provided by Queensland University. So all these databases are the same. And for your information, sometimes the researchers in the global south feel that the resources that they access are, are more inferior to the resources that are accessed in the global north. I believe the difference only is on the level of subscription, because within these databases, you could subscribe for a package. Tell and Francis, for example, is multidisciplinary, and if you maybe explore their subjects, you might find that the package you have only covers behavioral sciences, built environment, and just a bit of it, but not all of it. But otherwise, if you're accessing computer science subjects in Uganda, or in Nigeria, in South Africa, it will be the same computer science resources that are accessed in the US or in the UK. So we need to be clear on that. Uh, if you're not able to access the full text, that's now when you notify your librarian. So let me do a search. Maybe let me search on renewable energy storage technologies. One thing that I wanted also to bring to our attention is that before you begin a search, these different databases have different designs, but always when you're starting your search, look for a search box. Uh, Let me see if I can open. Let me open Springer Open. There are some features which are similar across all these databases. So there must be a search box for Springer. If you look for this scanner icon or search, that search button or search box. For Wiley, it is also here. So when you're going to begin your search, you can always put in your keywords or your phrase within the search box. That's where you start from at the basic level. But also, before you do the search, you need to know the kind of database that you are using. Is it a multidisciplinary database? Are you from social sciences and you're looking for resources in engineering database? For example, here we have, let me go up. SCM Digital Library. It is provided by Association for Computing Machinery. So when you open the database, it will show you, or the name can guide you on which kind of resources which are available there. So it helps save you the time to know the subject strength of the database that you'll be searching. So back to Taylor and Francis, we are searching renewable energy storage technology. So that is the topic. I'm assuming that is the topic that I'm working on. So I'm starting out of the blue and I put in my search term there. In the search results, we have received more than 32,269 results. And in this database, I say we subscribe to Taylor and Francis through the consortium. Where there is a green tick, it shows that there is full access to the full text of that resource. So wherever there is a green tick, it means that there is access to full text. Wherever you see this icon, even in other databases, this is a symbol for open access. So it means that resource will be available to you even if you had not subscribed to that database. And then here, when it is blank for Taylor and Francis, it means that we do not have access to this particular resource through our subscription. Now, Once you have obtained the search results, you now view the results to analyze them, peruse through them, browse through them to see if they are relevant to your research topics. Because it's not that everything that you're searching is very useful to you. So you can peruse through the search results, look at the topic, and then if you feel that that topic is relevant to you, you can click on the title or click on full text because this resource is available. So once I click on the title, it will take me to the full text of that article. I can read online, or I can choose to download it to read later. Now, for most of these databases, whenever you want to download, it's better to look for a PDF, the PDF icon. Here, it says view PDF because it's the most the file format that are used by most researchers to save their work if you use EPUB. So when you look for PDF, you'll be able to download that resource and then save it for later reading. The full text is loading. So I'll be able to download. So once I download it, I can be able to read it later. So let me close it, close this and go back to the search results. Now within this search results, you can, I saw here, there's this one article that, okay, majority of the ones here, they are accessible, but I saw there was one which was not accessible. So sometimes instead of getting frustrated that, oh, much of the things that I see are not accessible, you can filter. We can do filters and say only show content I have full access to. So out of the 32,269 results, they are going to reduce, and we see how much of these are available for us to read. When you do the filters, it helps save your time. It helps narrow your results. It helps take you, oh, sorry. I wonder why it's behaving like this. It's showing zero results. But like I said, our IPs are conflicting and the Directorate of ICT is yet to resolve that. But otherwise, when you filter, it's supposed to show you only the articles that you have full access to. Also, you can do your filters by article type. Let me see. Let me go back to the search results. Let me put the search term again. Renewable energy storage technologies. The different filters that you can filter by article type. Those which ones, the original articles are 27,000. There are review articles which are 1,800, and then other types of articles. So you can choose to exclude some of these or include only some. so that your results are very specific. And this is good, especially for researchers who are undertaking systematic literature reviews. So you can zero in your inclusion or exclusion criteria uh, to, to the filters that are available in your database. You can also filter by subject. I want articles within the engineering and technology field or within environment and sustainability. If there are journals that you are interested in, you can do that. And also, most importantly, you can filter by publication dates. As researchers, we need to conceptualize our research on the most recent research. So we need to situate our studies with the most recent research, say in the last 5 years, so you can restrict it to from 2021 to 2026. Especially this is now good for also the graduate students. I see masters and graduate students. You submit your work and your supervisor said you are using dated sources. But out of these more than 30,000 such results, you cannot have an excuse of saying, the library has no resources, the work there is outdated. There are still more than 12,000 results of research that was published in the last 5 years on that topic. So you have no excuse of submitting work with dated sources to your supervisor or within even your own research. It lowers your credibility. People will start doubting you that why is this one always interested in dated sources, unless for one reason or another it is necessary. But you can always start with the most recent ones, and these databases can help you filter. If I went to Springer, I get the same search results. It is the same thing. Those filters are available across different databases. So in filter, you can choose by article type, content type, whether it's a book chapter or article, publishing model, if you want only open access, date published, if you want only in the last 24 months, and so on. So you can apply this skill across all databases. I also wanted us, in case you are you are making a search on a database and you find that maybe it is not giving you the results. You feel that it's a database that should have the information within your discipline or your subject expertise, but the results are not really what you want. You might need to refine your search term, change the search terminology. What are the alternative words that are used within your discipline to refer to that specific concept that you are talking about? So when you change the concept, probably your search results will improve. So there is a need to always keep refining your searches until you find what is relevant to what you are looking for. Sometimes as a student, you're looking for information to write your research proposal. You're conceptualizing your proposal, and then you feel there is no literature and you get frustrated. So you might need to, if you actually, they always say that you need to go and search, and then there should be sources to justify your arguments. And then a student will come and say, no, but I checked, there was nothing. Oh, my topic is new. There was no research that has been undertaken in this area. You will be lying. If you come to these databases and check, you'll find that a lot has been researched, only that you have not searched well enough. If you search well enough, you'll find that research has been taking place within your area, And for you to identify the gap, you need to read widely, search widely, relate these different resources, and find where there's a gap that you can address or with your research problem. So, for example, you are a researcher in Uganda. Yeah, let's say you're talking about renewable energy storage technologies in Uganda. So let me add that in Uganda and see what it will give us. Yeah, so, and let me, yeah, from 32,000, we have 154 results that are linked to studies about renewable energy in Uganda. So you look at those and see, are they relevant? Are they helpful? If not, you can maybe expand and say to renewable energy storage technologies in the East African region. Or look for studies on renewable energy storage technologies in the sub-Saharan Africa. So as you keep on refining or changing your search terms or search phrases, even your search results improve, or the search results improve, and the articles that you get might get more relevant. Uh, you can also do advanced searches. Most of these databases have advanced searches integrated within them, and the advanced search options work alongside the Boolean operators. When you do an advanced search, you are trying to be specific with the uh, content that you want to get out of that database. So the Boolean operators use the Boolean logic, and they apply the and, or, and not in the search terms. So here they have even helped describe how you can use or apply the Boolean operators. And when you are putting them in a database, we capitalize those words, the and, or, and not. When you are using the and, you are trying to narrow the search results, or broadens the search results. Then in not helps you exclude some of the terminologies or some of the concepts from your search. So sometimes, for example, you are searching for artificial intelligence. Let me use that example in the advanced search. So searching artificial intelligence, but within artificial intelligence, I'm maybe also interested in generative AI. Then I search. So here in the search results, I have text that discusses generative AI in the context of artificial intelligence. But sometimes you might not want generative AI. I've put the not in capital letters Let me search and see what it gives us. Artificial intelligence covers different areas, including machine learning, robotics, and so on. So here, the results that the database will give me will include artificial intelligence, but they will not cover generative AI. Then sometimes you might say artificial intelligence or generative AI. Also, the search results changes. So initially the search results were fewer, but here they have increased from to 56,000. So when you use the Boolean operators, it helps either broaden your search or narrow it down. But above all, they make you have more specific results that suit the study that you are undertaking. Now, I wanted to exit the search strategies, but before I exit, I wanted to receive any question in regards to that. Then after that, we shall switch to citation and referencing. So, Ugo, as you put back the presentation, I can take some questions on what I've presented on searching.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Mary. We have two questions so far. One of them wanted to know how to log in. The question is saying, is it from the university email or is it any email address and then which password? Then the other question is, how can one get a MyLoot account? Yeah, thank you.
Uh, to get a MyLoft account, you need to get in touch with your library. Different institutions are very strict on the use of maybe institutional email address. So they might require you to use your institutional email address for them to approve. Remember, you have to be approved before your account can be activated because they need to be sure that only the registered users of that library or that institution can access that MyLoft account. The same way you do not want a student from who is not registered in that university to be attending lectures in your class. It's the same way libraries also operate when they are authenticating users. They need to verify that you are a registered user of that university. So some libraries are very liberal. They might allow you to use your any other email that you have. Others might accept only institutional email. So how to get an account, inquire with your library to know if they subscribe to MyLoft, first of all. Then if they subscribe to it, you'll be able to sign up and then they will guide you and approve your account from their side. Because it's not MyLoft is not a free service, it is paid for. So you have to go to your institution and inquire. Uh, okay, I wanted us also to see how to use Research for Life before I can demonstrate on how to how to use the reference tools. Research for Life was originally for databases that provide access to information, research information to low and middle income countries. So also you need to make sure that first of all, your institution is registered to access Research for Life. Then once they are registered, speak to your librarian on the different access options that are available. Let me share my screen. I was on my side, but I wasn't sharing. I'll go first disable so that I can display WhatsApp Research for Life.
Yeah, Dr. Mary, sorry, do we have time for another question based on my looks? We have
What
another
what is the
participant
question?
asking. He said, is there any problem if Godson is asking if there is any problem for him to use Boolean operators for a normal search instead of advanced search?
If you know how to use them, like I said, there's no problem in using them. Uh, Earlier on, I went to the advanced search, but I came back to the main platform and I played the Boolean operators. But when you're using the Boolean operators, you should type them out in capital letters. Then not, or, and should be typed out in capital letters. So that the databases can interpret and give you the feedback. Yeah, so we are now on Research for Life. Originally, Research for Life, stood for the four databases that were available at that time. But recently, they added them and they became five. So these include Agora. Agora is access to global online research in agriculture. Uh, then there is OARE for research in Hinari, research in health, and then Goali, that was the newest addition for law. Then there is also ADI, uh, research for development and innovation. So this content is available to researchers in low-income countries at no cost. When you are in other parts of the world, you might have to pay money to access this database. But for us in Uganda, we access them for free. And access, if you're a librarian, you have to sign the license agreement. Look out for the National Research for Life Coordinator for you to be able to access. So let me check the access options available here. When I do login, I'm automatically logged in to Research for Life because it is using the IP address authentication. Previously, there was a use of only passwords. Usernames and passwords were issued to institutions, but the use of usernames and passwords was discouraged because researchers could share them uh, with their colleagues or use them in areas where free use was restricted, and that could lead to a breach of the license agreement with the
We can't hear anything, or it's only me alone.
Hello, Dr. Mary. We can't hear you. I think you're mute. We can see your screen, but we can't hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, my apologies. I went offline and my connectivity got distorted.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, so when you are on Research for Life, you'll be able to search all the 5 databases in one search button using the summons function. And also for institutions that may not have access to other databases like Sage, us as Chambogo University, we do not subscribe to Sage, but we make use of Research for Life to access such a database. So let me do this search on open science policies and practices. Let me see the full text. This one is available via Director of Open Access Journals, but I wanted to get something. Let me search a journal in Sage Information Development. When you are using Research for Life, you'll be able to access the full databases of the contributors because different publishers contribute the content that is provided by Research for Life. So you'll be able to access their databases by moving around with a few tricks if we can be patient. Yeah, so within my institution, we do not have access or subscription to Sage, but if I'm here, I can modify and then search all the journals within Sage and I'll have access to full text that is provided, but via Research for Life. Are we together? So that is one of the ways that you can leverage this database to help your researchers or to help yourself access more information for your research via Research for Life. So as I take the last question on searching databases on Research for Life, because I want to move on to citation and referencing, allow me close this one. The techniques are the same as I demonstrated in Taylor and Francis database. So if there is one more question, then I go back and then we can do citation and referencing.
I don't think we have any more questions on that. Is
Okay.
it okay to share and
Yeah, you
continue
share
with
the
the
screen.
citation? Yeah.
Yeah, so I know also many of us researchers are grappling with the issue of citation and referencing. Citation is a way of giving credit when certain material in your work came from others. When you read other people's work, we are always told to cite. So how do we go about citing? We shall briefly look at how to cite, when to cite, and then the reference management tools that are available to support us in citation. Next slide. So why do we cite? We cite to give credit to other researchers for their contributions to the body of knowledge. We cite to add strength and authority to your own work. There's that statement from Google Scholar that standing on the shoulder of giants. So when you are standing on the shoulders of giants, through citation, it gives more credibility to the research that you are undertaking. And of course, it matters who you will be citing. Uh, when you are when you are talking about certain models or certain topics within your subject or within your discipline, there should be an authority that rings a bell that should feature in that topic in your work. So you need to be very mindful, very conversant with the scholars in your discipline. When you cite, you also place your work in a specific context, that my work falls within the information science discipline, in information behavior, because you surround yourself with those who have been there within that particular context. Also, you leave a trail for other scholars to follow, that this research or these concepts or these ideas I borrowed from this and this. So if you want to read more about this topic or to expand your knowledge on this topic, you can go to these other sources and learn more. It also shows the amount of research you have done. If you submit something very plain without any citation, without any reference, eh, it brings a red flag that you have not done due diligence to ensure that your work fits within a certain body of knowledge, or that you're able to critically identify a research gap. Also, you cite in order to distinguish your ideas from those of other researchers. As you cite, you are critiquing, you're building your arguments. What does this one say? What does the other researcher says? But in your understanding from what everyone has talked, what does it mean? So you present your own ideas different from what other researchers have put, whether you agree with them or you disagree with them, or there are new insights that you are bringing from what you have read about what others have written about. It also helps prevent academic failure. As a postgraduate student, your master's student, your PhD student, they ask you to support your work with evidence. If you do not cite, of course, it will be regarded as the plagiarism, or it can lead to doubts or on the integrity of your academic reports, and in the end, you may not pass, or they will tell you the sources you cited were predatory, or you did not use authoritative sources within that subject or topic that you are writing about. So in the end, you need to be careful that you cite well so that you win, you do not fail. So when do we cite? It is important to cite when we use direct quotations. And when you use direct quotations, you should put a page number so that other readers can also go to that exact resource and page number. You should also cite when you paraphrase. Sometimes, especially students, when they come and you advise them, when you peruse through their work, you advise them, they tell you, but madam, I used my own work, I used my own words. So even if you use your own words, which is encouraged, you paraphrase, but then you need to acknowledge the sources that the ideas came from. So whenever you use an idea that someone else has already expressed, you need to cite. This concept started from so and so, or so and so developed this model or the theory. You should be able to cite their work. Also, when you make specific reference to the work of another, you know that person's work, you have used that person's work, you have cited it, you need to cite it. And then whenever someone else's work has been critical in developing your own ideas, you have read maybe books and so on, so many, you have now understood that topic. You feel now it belongs to you. You can write it off head, but you realize that there was literature that you are reading, there was someone who was very instrumental in helping you understand that particular topic. So you should be able to cite their work. Next slide. So when do we not cite? You don't cite when it is a historical overview or if it is concepts available in multiple sources. They become general knowledge. So you don't cite, for example, let's say Uganda obtained independence in 1962. You may not say according to so and so, this is when we, sometimes that becomes general knowledge. Then also your own ideas and findings. When you're presenting that chapter of your findings or you're writing the research paper, presenting the findings of your study, you do not put a citation because those are original ideas and they are your own. We cite when we are using the ideas of others. Then also when you are writing conclusions containing formally cited ideas because you're more or less putting a summary of what everyone else has done or said. So you're drawing a conclusion on that matter. You do not need to cite and common knowledge within that discipline that you are writing about, you may not need to cite. Next one. So how do we cite? Different subject disciplines call for citation information to be written in a specific order. Capitalization also matters and the use of punctuation marks. Also, some institutions might ask that you adhere to a particular citation style. So you need to know which citation style is used in your institution. If you're submitting a manuscript to a journal, you need to understand which citation style they prefer, because if you use something different, the editor might reject your submission on just the reason that you did not follow the appropriate citation style. So there is need to know the citation style that you are using in that study based on the guidelines of your institutions or the journal that you are submitting to or the publisher you're submitting your research to. And then when you cite, stick to one citation style. Do not mix APA with Harvard or Chicago style or whichever other style option you think might be more fashionable to you. You need to choose one, be consistent, stick to it. Next presentation, next slide. So when we are citing, we encourage the use of reference managers. Some reference managers are embedded in Word document. Word comes and you're able to cite with Word. But also there are those reference management tools that we can use to support us in our writing. Why do we use the reference managers? We use them in order to organize our literature. You group the themes together. You use them when we are uh, formatting our citations because they easily help us, they easily update the citations based on the style that is needed. If you're a researcher, for example, you're writing a manuscript that you're submitting to one journal, they require that you use APA, and when you submit, they might reject your journal. So when you're resubmitting to another, they might request that you use Harvard or Chicago. So when you use a reference manager, it helps you to update your references and your citations to suit the required house style. Then also, reference managers help us in collaboration. You know which researchers are working with you within that subject discipline. I wanted to ask a question. Which reference managers are we familiar with? Which reference tools do we use in our research? Someone is using Refrac, yes. Someone is using Refrac. Any other? Mendeley? Any other? Yeah, so there are different citation tools. Yeah, you have listed them. So when we use those tools, they help us organize our writing, navigate our research smoothly. You can go to the next slide. Yeah. So we have talked about Mendeley in the chat box. People have mentioned Mendeley, EndNote, Zotero. Mendeley, Zotero are open source. You can get them freely. And if you need support on how to install them or download and install them, you can inquire. Any of all these citation tools, inquire with your library which one they are using, and then they can support you to get it and use them. But then there is Refworks. Refworks is subscription based, as well as EndNote. So you can also ask your library if they subscribe to any reference management tool, and if they do, they should be able to grant you access. Other researchers, most databases have built-in citations that can help you navigate the citation journey. It's a lazy way of starting, not lazy in a negative way. You're still trying to find your bearing in citation and learning how to cite. So you can simply go to the database that you were reading, or go to that article. As you download it, you can also check there could be an option on how to cite. So they will tell you to cite this article. You when you click there, it will give you the options, whether in APS style, Harvard, or any other style that is available. So you simply copy that citation style, and copy the citation and paste it in your work. That is, if you read that particular resource, and that those built-in citations are also embedded in Google Scholar. Now, I wanted us to do a simple demonstration on how to use the Mendeley, because Mendeley is open source. You'll unshare the screen. Stop sharing so that I can share. Mendeley is provided by Elsevier. So let me share my screen. I will not take us through the whole process of creating an account and so on, but I will just demonstrate briefly how we can use Mendeley. Mendeley helps you organize your files in one place. You can bring all your research into your Mendeley library, and once you do that, you will be able to cite your work as you read and then generate the bibliography. Now, within my Mendeley library, I already have Mendeley desktop installed. Within it, I have a Mendeley library, but I can also show you how to populate, because we are assuming that before you cite, you have read the document. You're not citing out of the blue, be it the print resource. You have read that printed book, and then you're going to cite it. So you're going to have a collection of the resources that you are reading. So before you cite or before you use Mendeley, ensure that what you are going to cite or what you are reading is imported to your Mendeley library. So you can start by going to File. If you want to bring one at a time, click on Add File from what you are reading. You have read, you have downloaded, so you can add that file in your library. So I can go to my downloads. I had downloaded this article by Kumar P. Just a minute. So I've brought that item into my Mendeley library, and it is the first here, and it even shows that I added it in 2025. The article was published in this year. Now, before you start citing this publication, you need to verify that the bibliographic details are correct, because once they are not correct, even the output in your citation and reference list will not look right. So here, I want to verify. Let me reduce the screen size. Yeah, so on the right side here, it has the bibliographic details of this document. So I need to verify what type it is. Is it a journal article? Yes, it is a journal article. I look at the title. Is the title here the same as what is showing here? Yes. The authors, there are two authors and they are all there. Then the name of the journal, you should verify that all the details are accurate. The year, look at the actual resource that you're reading. The year is 2025. The volume number 47, issue number 1, page numbers 274 to 303. And when sometimes students or even researchers assume that when you use a citation tools, the things just work out automatically. They do not work out automatically. You have to first customize it or know what you need to include, the bibliographic details that should be captured in your reference list. Once those ones are captured properly, your use of the reference management tool will go well. So this information is there, the publisher, the URL, the DOI. So now I can go ahead and cite this document that I have imported. Let me try to use something else. Let me open a Word document that I can cite. So let me get a bit of this. I create a new document. Yeah, so I want to cite, and I go back to my Mendeley. This article that I was reading was authored by Kumar. If I know the author and I want to put my citation here, I come under references. Make sure that you have the citation plug installed on your Word for you to be able to use. I think if we need support on that, that one can be discussed offline, or the resources, the guides could be available in your libraries, or you can ask your librarian if they are using Mendeley, they can help you. So if I want to cite with Mendeley, I come to references, inside citation. I know the author. I can simply select the author What was the name again? Let's see. This one. So that is one of the ways of citing. So I have brought in that citation. But now when we look at this citation, is it how we are supposed to cite? It may not be the way we are supposed to cite. At the start of the paragraph, we do not put the citation in brackets. Also, there is the initial of this author. So I go back, I will need to go back to my Mendeley to ensure that the author's details have been put well. Ugo, your hand is up? Oh, that's an old
Yes.
hand. Yes, please.
No, we didn't see what you displayed. You were still looking at the screen that you're sharing on
Oh,
optimization. Yeah, so we didn't see what you just did. Yes.
okay. Sorry, let me stop sharing this one. Then I go to Word.
All right. Thank you.
So let me share my Word.
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
thank
I
you.
want to. I'm assuming I'm starting to write a research paper. So I want to make a citation using Mendeley. But as I say that if you do not set the bibliographic data correctly, then you'll have wrong output in your Mendeley citation and reference, in your citation and reference list. So I wanted to cite that publication, assuming I remember, the one I have just imported.
Yeah.
So I'm citing Kumar, but if you can see here, the P is not supposed to be there, the initial. So I will need to go back to Mendeley library, my Mendeley library to correct that. But what you can do with Mendeley, you can format your citation. I can simply delete it, but it will keep disturbing. And also at the beginning of the paragraph, we do not start with the parentheses. They should not be there. So I can delete the parentheses, and then it is prompting me whether I should keep manual edit. So I go ahead and keep the manual edit. For it, whenever you're inserting a citation, all the citations come in parentheses. So Kumar, and I can correct this, and Saini stated that. So I'm writing. But if it is at the end of my statement, I'm going to insert the same citation. I can do a manual edit, and then and I will keep this manual edit. So I have put in the citation. So as I go on citing, let me add another citation in the middle, the findings by insert, let me say, choose this author. Okay. So I have inserted another citation. Others choose to insert by selecting insert citation, go to Mendeley library, then you select which citation you want to insert. So I could choose Presswell. Let's see, have I inserted? I have it. Let me just use the other same approach because we don't have much time. Let me add the Creswell in my library. Get 2018. So if you've been writing and citing, at the end of your document, you're going to put your reference list or the bibliography references. So here, I simply go to this toolbar, the references, then I select insert bibliography. And yes, Hugo, your hand is again up.
Yes, we have a lot of participants. They need to understand how you moved from Mendeley app to Word documents.
Word.
I hope I'm
Yeah,
right with that question. Yes.
yeah. So at first I showed us my Mendeley library that I have. When you have Mendeley, when you have installed Mendeley, you import your work that you are reading. And I gave an example of the article I downloaded from Taylor and Francis during this webinar. I brought that article by Umar and Saini. So I imported it in my Mendeley library. So assuming that I have brought enough that I need to read all the papers that I'm reading, the chapters, I'm reading all of them. So I have imported them to Mendeley library. Now I'm back to my Word document where I'm doing the writing. Are we together? So that's how now I switched to Word, that I have had my articles, the work I'm reading, I have it on Mendeley library. I'm now back to writing. So as I'm writing, I need to cite as I write. So I'm using Mendeley that is installed on my computer, that I have a plugin on my Microsoft Word, and I'm using it to cite the works that I'm reading in my research paper or in my thesis or dissertation. So here I came and cited this paper authored in 2025 by Kuma, and then I cited Ingulube 2020. I also cited Creswell and Creswell 2018. Are we together to that far?
I think can you show us how the Mendeley appears in your your Word document?
Okay,
I
so
see
this
it
is
at the plugin, yes.
no, this is my Mendeley desktop. I have installed Mendeley. I have my Mendeley desktop, which I have all the resources that I'm reading. I brought this article here, I imported it as in this training. So let me import another one. There are different ways we can populate the library. We can add one single file at a time. I added this first one. Then you can add as a folder. So you can, if your computer is organized, there's a folder that you usually save your research documents. You can simply click on that folder and import all the research that you are doing or that you're reading into your Mendeley library. So here I'm importing a full folder.
We
This
can
folder
only see
has,
the Word document.
you can only see Word.
Yes.
So
Sorry.
sorry, I have to keep switching. So let me unshare the Word. Let me select the Mendeley. I have to keep switching the screens. Sorry about that. So let me delete. Oh, let me delete this. I should be able to do this, but these are the ones I just imported. So let me go back. You can import. Are you now on Mendeley? Are you seeing with me Mendeley?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can see Mendeley
Yeah.
now. Yes.
So we
Yes.
can add a folder one at a time, add a file one at a time. I can add this one, but I'd already added this. Or you can add multiple files in your folder. If you have a folder that has much of your research, you can go then select that particular folder where you store the papers you are actively reading. So once you click and you put OK, and all the work that you are doing or that you are reading will be imported into your Mendeley library. So you first populate your Mendeley library with the research that you are reading or the articles that you are reading before you can go and cite those. So at first, I populated my Mendeley library, added one article or added multiple articles as a folder. You can also watch a folder. So once you select a specific folder, next time, when you want to do, when you import or add documents or files in that folder, it will be automatically brought to Mendeley rather than you bringing one at a time, one at a time. So you just organize the files in your file explorer in your computer, whether it is on your documents or which local disk. Then you simply watch that folder with Mendeley, and every work, every publication that you drop them there will be automatically brought to Mendeley. Or you can add entry manually, assuming you are reading a print book which has no e-version, no electronic copy, or yeah, so you want to add it first on Mendeley before you are able to cite it. So if that publication or the bibliographic details is not in your Mendeley library, you'll not be able to cite it in Word, because I'm assuming that you're writing your work in Word. Are we together in that at that stage?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm
Yes.
let me exit Mendeley, I go back to Word. So I'm assuming that all the work that I'm reading, I have brought in to my Mendeley library. The articles, you have to bring them as you read. I've read this one, add it to Mendeley. Today I'm downloading multiple files, then I should maybe put them in to watch that folder as I keep downloading. They should come so that I don't have to bring them one by one. So once your Mendeley library is populated like mine, you are now ready to start citing your work. You are reading and you are citing what you have read. So I inserted, did we see when I inserted the Word files? Are we on Word? Do you see my Word
Yes,
document? Yeah,
we
so
can
these are
see
the
your work.
citations I inserted using Mendeley. So now to insert with Mendeley, you go to references on your Word. You go to references, insert. Okay, if I select where you're going to insert, let me say here, then go to insert citation. The easiest way that I follow is that because I'm reading, my computer is freezing. Because I feel I've just read that article, you cite it immediately. So you know that the author is already off head. So you select insert citation. I don't know why it is not responding. It's misbehaving. You click. Oh, okay. Insert citation. So let me choose uh, publication to cite. I've just imported Let me cancel this one. I've just imported a folder which has other personal documents which are not organized in Mendeley. Let me look for this. So I select the author, the paper I've just been reading. I can type the name of the author and click OK. So all these citations, I've just inserted them using Mendeley and they are grayed out. Now, I had already put the bibliography. I can delete this again. To insert the bibliography or your reference list, you go to that toolbar on your own Word, you go to references, select insert bibliography where there is a Mendeley citation flag, and then your reference list is automatically inserted. Now, we are saying that at some point, you may not be knowing which citation style you are using. Here, the style has been automatically set to APA. But if you want to switch to another citation style, say Harvard. Let me see which one is here. Let me look for Harvard. More citation styles. Yeah, so when I change the reference style from APA, yes, Ugo, your hand is up.
Yes, I'm looking at the time.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
wind up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you change your style from APA to Harvard, Mendeley automatically updates it in your references. So it needs more time for us to explore how to use these citations tool. Once you install it, it is free. It is accessible freely online. You download it, install, create an account, then have it populated with the articles that you are reading. Once you populate it, you are ready to go to start citing. But make sure that the bibliographic details of the things that you are of the articles or the papers that you are reading are correct. So you go and verify. For example, if I look at my reference list here, maybe there's some information that could have gone wrong. So you have to feed the software with the correct information. It should have the right title, the right author, the right journal, issue number, volume number, year. All the information that should be there should be available within Mendeley, then you insert. So this one here, the order is not correct. So I would need to go back to my Mendeley desktop, edit the bibliographic details or the author name, so that it will automatically be updated. So once you use these tools, you don't have to struggle to remember what did I cite, what didn't I cite. So each time you add a new citation, for example, let me add a citation here. Let me get this one on. It has automatically been added here. So now as you keep citing, it will keep adding. That is how the tools work. Now, just that last bit of the presentation, let me stop sharing. You can put it, then I wrap up and welcome the final question since we are fast running out of time. Yeah, so beyond uh, what I've demonstrated, how to reference, how to search the databases or provision of information resources. Libraries provide different support services to their researchers. So you can always go to your librarian, ask them. If you have a question, you can start by asking them at the reference desk. Their librarians who are always ready to answer your questions. There is usually literature search facilities available in your library. You are trying to conceptualize a paper, you can supply the keywords or the topic to your librarian, and him or her will help you. They'll be able to support you download the appropriate literature for your topic and send them to you. They support in reference management based on the reference management tools that they have in their libraries. Librarians also assist researchers with the publishing support, how to identify uh, credible and avoid the predatory publishers. So you can always seek out for that support before you put out your manuscript for publications. Get that support from the library. These days, libraries are advancing to research data management, so you can explore the options available on how to archive your research data in your library or access existing data so that you do not have to go to the field afresh. We are encouraging reproducibility, reuse, and of research data. Then also, your library can support with academic writing, different scholarly and academic writing tools that you might need. There could be subscription on scholarly writing tools. You need to inquire if they are there. They will advise you. Librarians support with the electronic document delivery services, which is where they help you get access or download for you articles which are not within the institutional subscription. That is an equivalent of interlibrary loans where they help you borrow a book from an institution and send it to you. Also, within the library settings, there are LibGuides that uh, act like manuals on how to access certain services or navigate certain research hurdles. And then there's an aspect of subject librarians who are dedicated to supporting researchers from specific disciplines. They could be there within your institutions. You need to inquire and ask to inquire if they are available, and if they are there, they will guide you to the specific subject librarians for your field. So at this juncture, I could welcome the questions. I know I rushed you through Mendele. I was cognizant of the time.
All right.
Yeah, so I welcome
Yeah.
a few questions.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you. Thank you. It's been a wonderful time. Yeah. I think we need a revision of this. Like so many people still need a little walk through. Yeah. I think the minutes is not even enough to use for all the topics here. Thank you so much for your time. We have just a few questions. I'm afraid we're just taking only two questions.
Yes,
Um,
please.
yes, because one of the questions you already did that. Berry who wanted a repeat of how you cited MS Word, but you already touched on that. So someone was asking if more than one reference managers can be in a computer or in a laptop. Yeah.
If you use more than one, they might conflict and disturb you. So I advise that you use one at a time and stick to that one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other question was how to install Mendeley plugin into Microsoft Word. I think the person wanted to understand how that Mendeley icon appears in your Microsoft Word. So I think you
Once
just
you
explained, yes.
yeah, once you download Mendeley and install it on your desktop, it will prompt you to insert Word plugin. So it's a matter of you following the prompts, and then it will be there on your Word. It will
Okay.
prompt you.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
but
Thank
also
you.
always ask for help. Yeah, then now, if there's no other question, I wanted to conclude by saying that, yes, there's one more hand up, Dr. Omugur. Final one.
Yes, please go on. That's Dr. Mugo, final question.
Hello.
Please go on. Yeah.
Yes,
We
good
can hear you.
afternoon, colleague. You can hear me?
Yes, please.
Yes, good afternoon, colleagues.
Good
I
afternoon.
first of all want to thank you, Madam Dr. Mary, for this very good initiative for both our students and then the staff, those who are on the study program and those ones who are supporting students on all campuses across. I was following the discussions. Me, I come from the special needs background, and I supervise students who are really trying so hard to make sure that they go through this the research process and see how to develop and eventually have the thesis ready. I was just maybe just this is a request, not a question, that if you could really go a step ahead to see that we adopt some of those programs and some of those like the Mendele's and so on. I know we have got programs that can be tailored to help or support them with the JAWS program and all that, especially for students with visual impairment, and also try to see how that can be digitalized across our universities. Yeah, it's unfortunate that I am now coming in. I've not really been following the whole discussion. Probably you have handled some of those issues, but it would also be good for us to learn and see how to really adapt some of those methodologies and all that, and search engines to support our learners. As I'm talking about, especially my university, that is Chambogo University. If we could try to explore that to support our learners with visual impairment and even hearing impairment, because I'm sure some of the universities have got some apps that can be of benefit to them to really get into the search engines and so on. Otherwise, I'm so grateful for this. I got into the discussion a little bit late, but at least I've grasped something. I've also, reignited my energies in the same areas because,
Mm.
some of these are new things and the others need to be updated. Yeah, you know. So thank you so
Yeah.
much. I just wanted to have that, but the discussion was very fruitful today. So I would encourage again
Thank
that
you,
we
Dr.
we repeat
Muguru.
the same. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Muguru. I've shared my email address. I think we can take the discussion further via email, and then we see how best to
Oh,
to
okay, that's
progress.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
I want to.
Ima, yeah, sorry, can Ima speak so that we can sum up with the response?
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Mary. We'll made our day with your excellent presentation. I'm called Emma, and mine is, I think, a suggestion here, okay?
Yes,
Can you hear
please.
me? Yeah, okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah, it's a suggestion. Yeah, I saw a few members got lost when you switched to Mendeley. So I'm of the view, perhaps next time we have different sessions for maybe referencing and the e-resources, okay? Yeah, so that members really grasp so that members can able grasp the referencing phase properly. Thank you.
Yeah, we can organize with Hugo and see how we can do referencing alone. I know referencing is very broad and it needs a time of its own, but at least this is a tip of the iceberg. It has sparked your interest, and we shall pick it up from there.
Yes, Dr. Baby, any comment on the last speaker, Dr. Umogu? Any words on Dr.
Yeah,
Umogu?
for Dr. Mugur, I've shared my email address and I've mentioned that we can pick up the discussion and arrange the training, especially that we come from the same institution. You can visit us and then we see how best to do the support. And
Yeah.
I know he's someone very passionate about special needs education. So we shall see how to customize the training, especially to our special needs users.
Yeah.
And colleagues,
Thank
let me go ahead of Hugo in my conclusion. I just want to encourage all of us that we need doing these things is not something that happens overnight. Research is a process. The way is a process is the same way that you should understand that searching library sources or using these tools takes time. So practice and practice and practice is very important. And once you master them, it helps save your time. It helps uh, improve the quality of your research outputs. And please, we implore you to liaise with the library, to work with your librarians, to make use of these resources because they are there, but they are underutilized. So we encourage you to work with the libraries to get all the support that you need for you as a researcher, for your students, if you're a supervisor, and also for the graduate students, there are specific support that libraries offer to help the graduate students navigate their research journeys. So thank you. And I also want to thank INAS for giving me this chance to participate in this webinar. It is my first international webinar, so thank you, especially to Charles for reaching out to me. Dr. Kalinzi Charles is a postdoctoral fellow at University of Portsmouth, so I thank him for reaching out to me to conduct this session. I also thank my employer, Chambogo University, for giving us an opportunity, and especially my supervisor, at Chambogo University Library, Dr. Liz State. She encourages us to reach out there to support others. Yeah, so thank you, everyone. And I also thank the Consortium of Uganda University Libraries, where I serve as a member of the Research and Publications Committee. We organize webinars and we support researchers in their research and publications journey. So thank you all, and thank you for turning up, making your time to listen to me, to learn with me. Thank you so much.
All
Over to
right.
you.
Yes, all right, Dr. Mary. I don't think there's any more to add. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful time. We all learned, and I know the next step is for us to practice. It's very important because if you don't practice, you definitely forget most of the steps that you've learned. So I believe we will be sharing some the recording, like a summary of the recording, especially the most important areas. Then I'll just take your permission, Dr. Mary, for you to share your slides. Yes, so if you need slide, you can write directly to Dr. Mary or to use my email. I can send you the slides. But for now, because we really ran out of time, we will be taking a picture. We use a picture to remember this section, and we believe we'll be having another section soon. So please, if you can turn on your video, your camera to see your beautiful, lovely faces, so that we can have a picture, and we'll be putting it on the Rising Scholars and LinkedIn page, so that if you see your picture, you can like, you can share to people, you can explain what you learned from the section, so that some other students will be able to join and then participate as well. Thank you so much. So any moment from now, we'll be taking. Thank you, Ezekiel Lomachi. I can see so many beautiful faces. Very good. Yeah, thank you for turning on your camera. So we'll be taking a picture now. So just smile, do any style, feel comfortable. You can do peas, cheese, anything. So many people don't like cheese, so I don't want to say cheese. So thank you. Want to go?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Mary. It was amazing.
Thank you for attending.
Yeah. Sorry, let me take the second page. We have about 2 pages. Yeah.
Mama, they're talking to you.
Yeah. So that's it. Thank you so much for coming, for joining. We hope to see you in other of our sections. We'll be having more sections and we'll be putting it up on the LinkedIn, on our INAF's website and the Rising Scholar website as well. So thank you so much. All right. Cheers. Have a good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Hope to see you some other
See
time.
you.
Bye.
Thank
See
you,
you.
Colleen. Thank
Yeah,
you, Dr.
bye.
Mary. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.